Okay, good morning. Today I want to talk a little bit about how we progress the puppy from bring it into our house to to hand feeding. We've been doing that for a couple days. So in the previous live video, what I talked about is all the steps that we need to take to set a puppy up for success when we bring it into the house. I talked about what a stressful event it is for the puppy. I talked about creating a safe sleeping, playing, and living environment. And I talked about setting the puppy up for success when it comes to housebreaking. The other thing that I talked about is setting the dog up for success when it comes to developing leadership. And by that, I mean that the nothing in a dog's life concept is implemented correctly by you, the handler. The way we're going to do that is by hand feeding the dog. One of the rules that I said is, or one of the criteria that I've said, is that we never walk towards the dog. You're not a servant, so we're not going to bring the food to the dog and say, hey dog, here you go, your humble servant is going to feed you. No, like in the litter, the puppy is going to go to you like he goes to the mom, like the puppy is finding the breast and then feeds, and he needs to now find your hand and then eat out of the hand while you keep moving backwards. What that is going to do is that the puppy learns, in order to survive, I need to pay attention to my handler and I need to follow him. And that's the work that he needs to do. Once the puppy is good with that, and we can test that, if you bring him into your training area and the puppy pays attention to you, in a couple seconds you are ready for the next step. And that next step is applying some luring techniques to develop or shape behaviors that we would like in the future. Although I don't really like that term creating behaviors already, what I do like to use is the term creating muscle memory for movements that we will use eventually in the future to create official behaviors, like heeling, like coming into basic position, like sitting, like downing, standing, etc., etc. The other reason or the other goal that I have in the next step is making the dog comfortable with my body and getting to know each other's body, as we know that using our body is a form of communication. So we need to teach the pup that when we are leaning over him, that does not mean that we are actually dominant. It's just a form of communication, because we are a creature that stands on two legs and he's a creature that walks on four legs. So what I want to do is go over a couple of steps today to set you guys up for success, and especially you, John, that just got your puppy, and what to do in the next couple days after the puppy's been acclimated in the first 4 to 5 days. Before we do that, I would like to invite everybody to revisit the video Mechanical Skills. So there is a video in our Facebook group that is called Mechanical Skills, and in that video I explain that dog training is both a science and a mechanical skill, and that we need to understand both to be successful in the training of our dogs. The Mechanical Skills video goes into a little bit of detail in what basic movements we need to master in order to be successful in creating movement and behavior with our dogs. So please go watch this video and before you actually start. The other thing is when you watch this video, go also practice these skills without the dog. Don't go try them with the dog. Set yourself up for success again. Set your dog up for success and grab a rope. Build that same setup and go practice these skills. So again, for food. So what we have done is we have prepared the food here. And the food has been soaking. The kibble is nice and spongy. And what I want to go over with now is how to hold the food in the hand when we are going to practice luring. So this is not what we do, but what we're going to do is we're going to create the pocket of food, and the food is going to sit in this pocket of the hand, and I can block it with my thumb. Then the goal is that the dog's nose is hitting this food and can start licking this food out of the hand, while I then move the dog, manipulate the dog, and create movement and behavior that I would like to see in the future. And again, I call this building muscle memory now rather than creating behavior. So where is my clicker? I did not have a clicker, so I'm going to ask these guys to get a clicker. So when it comes to dog training, one of the most important thing is that we are ambidextrous, so that we can both move, click with the left hand and right hand, and that we can do the same thing here, click with the left hand and manipulate food with the right hand. So also food manipulation, you will see that in the mechanical skill video, is something that we need to practice. So when we have our vest on our bait bag, and we're going to prepare our vest and our bait bag by putting food in it. And again, we measure the amount of food that the dog needs to eat, and this is about 30% of food for the pups daily feeding. So I have my jacket loaded up. And then one of the things that I need to practice is grab food and make sure the food is correct. Yeah, grab food and make sure the food is correct. And you see here, I was a little bit too wild and grabbed not too much food. So this is a skill that we need to practice in order to be successful with the dog. And we need to practice this left and right. And there we go. So the first movements that we are going to do, and what I'm going to talk today about, is, again, you need to hold it like this and then move it like that if you want me to go down. I'm just adjusting the camera here for the guy. One of the movements that we are going to do is start walking backwards, and we are going to try a left circle for the dog. And the muscle memory of a left circle is to prepare the dog for coming into basic position later. The dog is going to learn to move his hind end in a certain way that he's going to be very fluent in making these left and right turns. On my right side, for you guys, the camera left side, I'm going to make a clockwise turn. So when I spin the dog, or I lure the dog on with my right hand, I am going to make clockwise circles so the dog can come into basic position on the right leg. And on the left side, I'm doing counterclockwise circles so the dog can come into basic position on the left side. So when the dog is fluent with that, and so are you, one of the next steps that we can do in the puppy's training is then actually bring him into that basic position and rewarding him and conditioning him that when his shoulder, his left shoulder on the right side, is lined up with my right leg, he's going to be successful. When the puppy is right shoulder is aligned with my left leg, which is developing left heeling, we are going to reward him and tell him that, hey, this is a good place to be. So in the beginning, setting criteria to shape healing needs to be done very slowly. Like I always said, be a splitter, not a lumper. So the first criteria that we set is having the dog's front end shoulder area very close to my left leg. And when the dog is good in luring and his nose is active in the hand, which is a separate skill that we need to teach, we almost have power steering over the dog. So we can, by manipulating our hand in a certain direction, adjust the position of the dog lining up with our leg. So it's a mechanical skill that will create the perfect position for the dog towards the leg, and that is your responsibility. So again, train these mechanical skills separately. So in a little bit, what I'm going to demonstrate is a training session. This is probably, so we are day number 6 in training, and it is we are doing about average 3 to 10 sessions a day with the puppy. And what I'm going to show you is the puppy's progress from the first time you guys saw him to now. And I'm going to focus on how to create that left circle to build that muscle memory, and then put the puppy into a basic position. And I'm going to show you what my reward criteria are. In the beginning, it is going to be a general awareness of his shoulder alignment to my leg. And then when the dog progresses good in the sessions, I'm going to raise my criteria step by step, and then I'm going to ask him, hey, I want your little shoulder touching my leg here. And then when that leg touches that shoulder, or your shoulder touching my leg, you know you're in the right position, and that results in a click, and you're going to get the rewards. And that is the first step of building healing. The other thing that I'm going to try to demonstrate with the pup, and it always depends on what the pup is giving me, is show some fun and randomness in the reward. So by making movements that are dynamic, I can increase the fun factor in the feeding process. And again, it is a skill that you need to practice to move your hands with food without dropping it fast. And again, practice these skills separately before you apply them with the pup. So what I'm going to ask my friend Jeff here to do is maybe to go grab the pup. So let's go all together. And again, what I showed you in the video before in the live session is that after the pup comes out of the crate, we need to make it go potty. So that is what we're going to do next. And while we're doing this, you see some clients arriving. It has been very wet here, very raining in Washington. So clients are pulling in. We're going to keep these clients out of the training area as we want to set the puppy up for success. So what is Jeff doing is he's actually grabbing his puppy from the car, and he's going to bring that puppy into the potty pen. Again, after the pup stays and after the pup pees, we need to give the puppy the opportunity to go to the bathroom. So we're training protection dogs here. You'll see a lot of dogs or hear a lot of dogs bark. So let's give this little guy a little opportunity here to pee, and it's just starts raining again. And when you put a puppy down, don't drop it. So always, be very gentle. Goed pis gedaan. Yeah, and there you go. You see how fast that went. After 6 days, the pup knows the routine from going into the car, into the potty pen, and he pees. So let's bring the pup inside, and we will get a little demo here. And again, before you train, make sure you've got your vest ready, your food ready, your clicker ready, so you don't need to do that when the puppy is in the training area. And again, we're going to lock everybody out here so we can set ourselves up for success by not having too many distractions. So from the moment the pup is in the training area, we are going to start. And again, the pup sees the cables, and he comes to me, he gets a click, and he's rewarded. So I'm keeping this puppy into my hand, like you see, and I can show you those left circles. So when the puppy's nose pushes into my hand, I'm going to click, and when he's done the circle, I'm going to click, and he's get food. So I fed this dog 7 times right now with my loading hand. So here's the puppy again. And the puppy's shoulders at my leg, and I'm going to click. After that, I can make it super fun. Good so. So this puppy is very enthusiastic. So we're going to do a spin, basic position. And this is after a couple weeks, guys, that you can start building the left leg. My cameraman has there a little bit of problems with the camera. Good, so. And I can easily switch to the right and do the same. There's the owner of the puppy. And the puppy comes back. And we can do this clockwise on the right. And when he's great and he pushes in the hand, he gets rewarded. And I can do the same thing, basic position on the right here. And make it super fun. Bring the puppy back into basic position. There you go. And of course he always wants to explore. But again here, we're going to wait until he comes to us. And then click for it, click for that engagement, and then reward him. And after he comes, make it fun. Pushes in on the right, and there we go. We make it super fun. And we can switch back to the left. Look at this little demon. He's such a cutie patootie. And sometimes when the pup is super distracted, we need to keep the sessions really slow. So once we see that the pup gets very distracted, we need to cut down our session. And this would be for later. We can do the side steps, but I just want to give you a little demo. When your mechanical skills are good, we can actually manipulate the dog into behaviors that we really want. And the puppy is getting very excited right now. I'll try this one more time. So this is all building muscle memory and learning how to sidestep, and that's how we do it. So, little demo. This is what your training should look like. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take the puppy and bring it back to the potty pen. So I'm going to let the handler do that here. Yeah, and let's give this guy a little bit of food for coming. And let's go back, and we go back to the potty pen. Yeah, try to hold it. Yes, 3. And again, it's raining in Washington. But I think this was a really good demonstration in what the... Don't hold the camera, otherwise it's shaking. Hang on, guys. This is the cable that's dragging the camera down. I'm having some difficulties here with my cameraman. I go. The battery, the gimbal is not doing good, so take it up. Grab it. Okay. We're going to take it out of the gimbal and record like this. Sorry about the difficulty. And you see, goed kaks. The pooped, we were excited. The dog has pooped, half successful. Very successful. And then the pup, you know, gets rewarded big time. And after 6 days, this dog is completely housebroken, which is absolutely great. So again, here we're gonna say to Agrippa here, bye-bye Agrippa, and thank you for the demo. And John, this is what your homework should look like in the next week. It's exciting. Shoot videos, guys. If you want to even try this with your adult dogs, try to shoot videos and let me know how it goes. Leave any comments in the questions. If you have comments about this live feed, shoot me any questions in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And then post videos in our groups from your homework. Don't be shy, please. Don't be shy. We are here to learn. Everybody's here to learn. And we can all learn a lot from each other's mistakes. So even if the session does not go well, don't be shy and post that video, because everybody will benefit from your video. And then I will go over that video and give you you know, pointers and critique in what to do better, or I'll point out what went excellent. Okay, for now, thank you again for being here and participating in this live feed. You guys have a great day. Keep training, and I'll see you in the next show. Bye-bye.